Welcome back to the O Show. Apparently, Donald Trump pumped Bitcoin over this weekend, plus Solana smashes, record highs, all kinds of exciting things happening. I'm still a little bit bummed that I missed Bitcoin Nashville 2024, but life happens, things happens. I had plans before, but we had an epic weekend, epic birthday celebration. Thank you so much for everyone who has been so supportive of the channel. Everybody who wished me a happy birthday. Lo and I and my mom and a bunch of my friends, we had a great weekend out in LA. I got to bring Lo to a couple really cool places. I highly recommend if you are in LA or you come to LA, you go eat at the Italian restaurant on Love Street, Pace. It's spelled P-A-C-E, and everybody calls it Pace, but essentially Pace. It's really good. They've got great food. But with that being said, let's go ahead and give kind of like a recap of what is happening over the weekend, because there's a lot of news that came out from Bitcoin 2024. Unfortunately, it was rumored that Elon Musk was going to be there. He was, in fact, not there. It would have been super epic to get him and former President Trump on stage. Again, you guys, I really wish that... I really wish that we could have gotten Harris there, VP Harris there, to talk about, some crypto things. That would have been freaking amazing. Unfortunately, that didn't end up panning out. But at the same time, I want to hear perspectives from all different candidates. I think it's very important. And again, we had RFK there, so we'll go ahead and cover that. But anyways, let's go and get straight into it. Oh, this is a story for a little bit later. Let's first talk about the markets over here. A little bit of market price action, I'm going to go ahead and remove myself from the screen. As you can see, this is the daily, and apparently BSV is up 14.4%, which is incredibly weird because Craig Wright, who was someone that claimed that he was was Satoshi Nakamoto, who in fact was in proven in court not to be, founded BSV. So it's interesting. Bitcoin Cash is up 9.9%. Weird as well, because, it's not Bitcoin. But taking a look at that was the daily. Now taking a look at the weekly. Weekly is kind of shows a little bit of a different picture. On the weekly, pretty much almost everything is down as far as the top 100 goes. Now, when we do take a look at the Bitcoin chart, let's take a look. I didn't go live yesterday because I was just kind of chilling. Trying to get resting, all kinds of stuff. So we didn't go live, but I did a little bit of a short for you guys, those who watched. Okay, so this is Bitcoin. Let's just do a quick weekly recap. So taking a look at Bitcoin, we opened and closed at approximately $68,000, got a swing wick high to 69.2 and a swing wick low to approximately 63.6. So essentially this candle was a bit bullish because the bull stepped in and they pushed price up, which we love. We absolutely love to see. We also have a poll at the top. Are you bullish or bearish? I would love to hear if you guys are bullish and bearish right now. Also, to make sure to smash the like and share this. I would greatly appreciate it. Drop a comment, all of that type of stuff. And everyone says, win Lambo. I don't want a Lambo. I just want to be able to have a house that is paid off. Hopefully in Topanga Canyon. Love it up there. That would be super fun. But we'll see what this market brings. I feel like there's endless opportunities for everyone. All right. So this far on the weekly, it's not looking too great. So we opened at about $68,000. We got a swing wick high to $70,000, but we're currently trading at about $66,000. Looking in on the daily, it looks like we've had a little bit of issue breaking 68.4. As you guys can see, that is clear resistance over here. So we're heading downwards. Right now, I would kind of watch this area at about $65,000, primarily because we have these two candle heads over here. Market CIPHER is also indicating some downward price action here. And again, stuff like that happens. We get a little bit of volatility, little bit of volatility over here. And that's fine. Even if Bitcoin does go back down to $65,000, or if we do go back to about $60,000, I'm still not concerned. Because if we take a look at this chart over here, we've kind of showed a consolidation range between about $60,000 and $73,000 that was happening all the way until the 1st of July. Till the 1st of July over here. So again, even if we hit that area at $60,000, I wouldn't be too concerned. And I do think it's a good opportunity to potentially rebalance your portfolios or hold or whatever it is that you need to do. Now, taking a quick look at Solana, because again, Solana has just been doing incredibly well price action wise. We can go ahead and see over here. We got a swing wick high all the way to $193 earlier. today in the last 24 hours, which is freaking amazing. Shout out to everybody who bought Solana. I accumulated a little bit more at around $140, and I think I got some again prior to that. I think like $60. I would have to check my portfolio, plus the moon bag that I have from way back when. So it's nice to see Solana doing incredibly well. Hopefully we get a Solana spot ETF soon, because we got that Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. Now, taking a look at Ethereum, Ethereum had a bit of a rough week. And again, we're going to see we're going to see some outflows from Grayscale because they have to merge their trust, or they have to convert their trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF or a spot Ethereum ETF. And we kind of saw that happen with Bitcoin last time. So Ethereum might take a little bit while to perform. Fingers crossed, we will see. Again, I got quite a bit of Ethereum. So I would love to see it hit $10,000 a cycle. Again, that's my personal dream. But as far as Ethereum goes, we are back above the trend line, which is nice. But I would like to see us really kind of consolidate above $3,400. That would be epic. Now, let's start to get into some of the news. Again, thank you guys so much for being here with me. And our first story over here. This is going to be a recap of what Trump said at Bitcoin conference. So shout out to Watcher Guru. He said, "One day I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman. Create a U.S. government strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. U.S. government will keep 100% of Bitcoin it owns." So basically any Bitcoin from that was confiscated from illicit activities, because public servants, government, they got to do that, the law enforcement. So anytime they confiscate it, they would basically hold on to that Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to the moon, which is pretty funny. pretty funny that he said that. I hope Bitcoin goes to the moon. That would be absolutely wonderful. Again, not financial advice. Never sell your Bitcoin. I don't like that statement. I don't like that statement about not selling your Bitcoin, never selling your Bitcoin. And I'll explain why. The reason why is I think it is very important for each individual person to decide what they want to do with their money. If you guys want to sell your Bitcoin, great. If you want to hold on to it, great. If you want to take a collateralized loan on it, great. Whatever it needs to be, each individual person has a different plan. And that's okay. That is a good thing. And I'm going to start explaining, when we talk about different portfolios, people are always like, okay, should I, if I have $1,000, what should I buy? You have to think of it this way. You have to think of it like a personal health plan. For example, your body type's different than my body type, and different exercises and diets are going to impact me differently. So I think it's important for each individual person to look at their portfolios and do what they want, because you might want to sell your Bitcoin to buy a house, or you might want to use it to get out of debt, or to, help a family member, friend. I don't know. So that's a personal choice for you. Do whatever works for you. But again, Bitcoin is one of those assets that I have at the very top. I've got 4 tiers of my portfolios, and Bitcoin is one of those that I do not want to sell, and I want to hold on as long as possible. But at the same time, I understand I might have to, and that's okay too. Now, with that being said, next one, Bitcoin will one day probably surpass the market cap of gold. I can see that happening. I reaffirm my pledge to commute Ross Ulbricht's sentence, which is absolutely amazing. Love to see that. I do not believe that Ross should be in jail for creating a platform that people decided to do bad things with. Just because you create something and somebody decides to do a bad thing with it, you should not be held liable. He then states there will never be a CBDC while I am president of the United States. This statement right here, to me personally, I understand that he doesn't want a CBDC, and he wants, they're going to pander and they're going to say things like, we don't want a CBDC, but a CBDC is coming. It's not a matter of is it coming or not. It will come 100%, in my opinion. I do think it will. We will see that happening. Even if they say that they're using a stablecoin, that is a CBDC. If they're replacing cash 100% with a digital asset, it's a CBDC. So it's very important, I think, to focus on that, in my personal opinion. And maybe he's right. We won't see a CBDC while he is president, if he does become the next president, but we will be seeing one. Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before if elected president. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Let's hope that there is a real super cycle that occurs. That would be most epic. Bitcoin is not threatening the dollar. The current U.S. government is threatening the dollar. I agree with him 100%. I do think that Bitcoin is not threatening the dollar. I think it's a hedge against the dollar. I think it's a great way to diversify your portfolio after you've done the research on it. And I do believe that the US government, the public servants, are in fact causing issues with the US dollar because of the fluctuations with inflation and all the different things that they do. That's just my personal opinion. So I don't know. To me, it just seems that it's very hard for most Americans to be able to make ends meet, etc. The United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and Bitcoin superpower of the world. I would love to see that happen, 100%. I would love to see the United States of America become a hub for crypto to where people can, in fact, build crypto companies. They have a safe environment where they can go and they can register and where they can essentially build things without fearing that they are going to get unjustly hit by the SEC or the CFTC. And again, that's my biggest issue. I think that there is a nice way that we can all work together on this, in my personal opinion. And someone in the chat says, will XRP blow up? I hope so. I really hope it does, because again, XRP is one of those coins. One of those coins. I am wanted. Thank you so much for wanting me. I appreciate it. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. That would be wonderful. Anyways, let's get back into it over here. Bitcoin stands for freedom, sovereignty, and independence from government coercion and control. I agree. Not your keys, not your coins. But then again, with a Bitcoin spot ETF, it is a little bit different. A little bit different. Once you have a Bitcoin spot ETF and once the government is allowed to really hold on to a lot of that Bitcoin, it makes it a little bit less decentralized, in my opinion. But at the same time, whatever. Make sure you guys smash the like. Next, he says, I pledge to the Bitcoin community that the day I take oath in office, Biden and Harris anti-crusade will be over. And I hope that that's the case. Now, with all this being said, I agree with most of what he's saying, and I appreciate him coming out and saying it. Is it some of it pandering? 100%, because public servants, that's what they do. Essentially, they are entertainers that are trying to get your votes. And I understand that. Everybody's got to hop on the grift train one way or another, and that's fine. That's his business. But at the same time, just because we have somebody that is making these promises doesn't mean that all of them will come to fruition. Would I like some of them to come to fruition? Yes, that would be absolutely wonderful. Will they? Probably not. And that's okay. That's okay. Again, I'm voting for a pro-crypto candidate, and I just primarily because I don't appreciate the way this current administration has really kind of gone about things. To me, it's a little bit ridiculous. It seems just kind of absurd that we have the CFTC and we have the SEC, and we don't have a place where these companies can essentially come in and register and be told what they can and can't do. Because all these companies need in crypto, like Ripple would have done it, Coinbase would have done it, Kraken and Gemini and all these different companies. Debtbox. If there was like rules that people could say, okay, I could do this, that, whatever, that would be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the next story here. Get into the next story over here. All right. So that was from Mr. Trump from his speech. And then, same story here from Cointelegraph. Trump to end war on crypto if elected. Shout out to the Cayman Islands. I have never been, but it looks like a beautiful place. All right. Now, Trump's potential SEC chairman should tackle 5 issues. This is another story that I want to dig into a little bit and read to you guys over here. Okay. So, Trump's potential SEC chairman should tackle 5 issues. Again, if Trump does become president, Gary Gensler is most likely going away, which I think is a really big victory for the entire industry, primarily because every single time really we've seen him talk about crypto or has been under oath, it's just like a whole lot of word salad, which we don't like. We want somebody that is going to give us direction. What can we do? Someone that can negotiate with us, someone that can clearly communicate what people can and can't do and allow American companies to continue to innovate. Because if you don't have innovation in America and companies aren't able to build, then what's the point, really? Anyways, allowing staking for Ethereum ETFs, using blockchain for reporting, clearing, and settlement, and issue guidance for on-chain compliance, update KYC, custody rules, regulate DEXs, and promote digital dollarization. That's a CBDC. So when Trump says no CBDC under him, that's exactly what a CBDC is. Promote digital dollarization. That's exactly what that means. So pay attention, pay attention. When we're talking about regulating DEXs, I don't know how they are going to do that. I don't know how they are in fact going to actually regulate DEXs, because when you think about it, you have a decentralized exchange. And I think there was some drama with DYDX that happened last week. You guys will have to go ahead and fact check me on that one. We didn't use it for this for today's story, which is okay, totally fine. But in order, like when I sat down with Hester Pierce, one thing she did say is really disclosures. So I think when they're talking about regulating DEXs, I'm hoping the way they go about it is like, hey, and anytime somebody connects their Phantom or MetaMask or whatever that may be, that there's just a disclosure that's like, hey, there's risk here, blah, 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 blah. You read through it, you click it, you enter, and then you play at your own risk. That's what I think should happen, because in that case, that is not only disclosing to people the risks associated with any type of decentralized assets, risks associated with using a DEX, but more importantly, allowing people to still participate with knowing the risks, which we should all know those risks right now. But anyways, that being said, shout out to Silentswap. I'm excited. I can't wait for that thing to go live. Everybody's been testing it. There's been lots of fun being had with it. So I'm excited for people to be able to be on chain and get a little bit of privacy. It's important. Privacy does matter. Does matter. All right, let's get into the next bit over here. Okay, this is from Miss Lummis. Senator Lummis announces bill for U.S. Treasury to buy 1 million Bitcoin worth $68 billion. Bitcoin 2024. So she announced a bill that would see the U.S. government purchase 1 million Bitcoins as a strategic Bitcoin reserve on stage at the Bitcoin 2024 conference. We will be debt-free because of Bitcoin, Lummis promised. So let's talk about that a little bit. Can the United States of America, in fact, become debt-free with Bitcoin? I don't know. What are we at? What are we at? Are we at like, how many trillions of dollars are we in debt? Is it like 65 trillion or something cuckoo like that? If somebody wants to go ahead and pull up the debt clock, or the debt clock, I think that would be a little bit important. But yeah, with that being said, I don't necessarily think that we can actually, 35 trillion. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mick and Ord. I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't think that we will really get out of debt with Bitcoin, but I think that Bitcoin can help. I think that Bitcoin can definitely help. Yes. And then James said, $35 trillion, 36. I was close. You know, what's the difference between a couple trillion dollars? All right, let's get into the next piece of story. Next piece of story over here. I can't talk. All right. This is from Russell Brand. He was also at Bitcoin 2024. I want to go ahead and play this clip for you because I think it's super important. So let's see. Let's go ahead and put this on. Let's go ahead and go here. And also too, really just wanted to say, I absolutely love that I get to work from home. I love that I have a room that I've been able to turn into my office. And I'm just so grateful to be able to work from home. This is like every single mom's dream, to be able to work from home, to be close to their kids' school, to be able to be there within like 10 or 20 minutes. Like, absolutely love it. When I worked in healthcare before, in order for me to get home, it was sometimes anywhere between an hour and 2 hours to get home. And that was scary when you have a little one at home and God forbid there's an emergency. So I'm just so grateful that I do get to work from home in my house, and I don't have to rent out an office. I can keep costs low, all that stuff. But anyways, let's get into it.
After all I've learned, I intend, as President of the United States, to sign an executive order on day one, directing the Department of Justice and the U.S. Marshals to transfer the approximately 200,000 Bitcoin held by the U.S. government to the United States Treasury, where it will be held as a strategic asset. On day one as president, I will sign another executive order directing the U.S. Treasury to purchase 550 Bitcoin daily until the U.S. has built a reserve of at least 4 million Bitcoins. and a position of dominance that no other country will be able to usurp. Our nation holds approximately 19% of global gold reserves. This policy will give us about the same proportion of total Bitcoin. The cascading impact from these actions will eventually move Bitcoin to a valuation of hundreds of trillions of dollars. On day one as president, I will sign also an executive order directing the IRS to issue public guidelines that all transactions between Bitcoin and the US dollar are unreportable transactions. And by extension, non-taxable. On day one as president, I will also sign an executive order directing the IRS to treat Bitcoin as an eligible asset for 1031 exchange into real property.
That was freaking epic. Super, super, super epic. Okay. So as far as the tax stuff goes, I can't comment on that because I'm not a CPA, but I'm going to call my CPA, Scott, because we have a call today anyways. We're like doing like planning and all kinds of stuff. Because you have to do that when with CPAs all the time. But I'm going to see if he can make a video so he can explain what that means to you. But basically, RFK is up there and he is pro Bitcoin. He wants them to recognize Bitcoin as a different asset. He basically wants to make a strategic reserve. He promised an executive order to transfer 204,000 Bitcoin held by the Fed in a strategic reserve and propose a Treasury Department buy 550 Bitcoin daily until the reserve reaches 4 million Bitcoin, aiming for the U.S. dominance in Bitcoin holdings, plus different ways to file taxes on this because it would be classified as something different. And this sounds wonderful and beautiful. And I love RFK for this. One of the things that I prefer about RFK over Trump is that RFK is a lot more well-versed in crypto. Absolutely love it. But for people that are not single issue voters, when it comes to crypto, they might, that maybe that's why they favor Trump, because I do think that Trump might be more well-versed on other political things while RFK is more well-versed on crypto. But again, I don't really know. All I know is that I'm voting for someone who's pro-crypto. That's my hill. Got to do it. Got to be able to take care of my families. But RFK really slayed with that speech. Like, I listened to Trump's speech when I was at the pool with my baby and my mom and my friends. But Trump, it was a lot of, it was just a lot of word salad, a lot of fun, a lot of this, a lot of promises, etc. So cool, good for him. We love to see Bitcoin being talked about in a positive manner, but RFK really did a better job as far as his speech went, in my personal opinion. And that's why I was so bummed to not see Harris there, VP Harris, is because I feel like she could have at least came up with some sort of word salad, like about pro Bitcoin, woo, whatever, something like that, but at the same time is what it is. All right, let's get into the next bit of a story over here. Let's see. And I've got to change the title because I think that word is not a good word that Google likes right now, but that's okay. All right. So Harris campaign aims to repair Democratic Party ties with crypto sector. All right. Very, very interesting. Let's dig into this story. So her advisors are reaching out to top crypto companies to mend relations between the Democrats and the crypto industry. And this was posted yesterday, July 28th. They want to foster constructive dialogue, want to build supportive regulatory framework. Initiative is also part of a broader strategy to reshape the Democratic Party's image as a pro-business. The move follows a letter from Democratic House members urging reconsideration of the party's approach to the crypto policy. And 27 Democrats signed a letter to the DNC urging them to put an end to Warren's anti-Bitcoin policies, which we did go ahead and cover on Saturday. I did a little bit of a stream for you. So anyways, that's what's going on with Miss Harris. I do wish that VP Harris came to Bitcoin 2024. She could have just given some of these things and then left. That would have been awesome. So I'm really kind of on the fence with her. Anyways, This was the letter over here that we covered. Over here, Bitcoin near 70,000 on back of Trump's speech, which we kind of talked about. Bitcoin Cash and base meme coins lead crypto market games. I don't know why Bitcoin Cash would lead, which we kind of talked about earlier, but it happens. And then this story over here, this is from Mr. John Dean. And I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention to the brief this morning. Because what we do on this channel is I send a bunch of stuff over to Mixing. He sends back stuff to me. It's like back and forth, and then we come up with the brief. Take some notes for me while I'm getting my kid ready. I read him. This morning I've kind of been a little bit all over the place, lots of stuff happening. But Mr. Deaton, who, if you guys, I'm telling you guys right now, if you can vote for him, I highly recommend you researching him. And supporting him. If you want to support him, but you can't vote for him because you're not in that jurisdiction, I highly recommend donating or sharing or volunteering, do whatever you can do. But he says the U.S. national debt has reached unprecedented $35 trillion. He says 1 trillion seconds is equal to 31,710 years. 35 trillion equates to 104,000 owed per citizen. We cannot tax our way out of this mess. Likely we cannot run out we cannot cut spending enough to solve the problem. Taxing and spending cuts are not enough. We must grow the economy and lift people out of poverty to expand the middle class. It is the only way. And I agree with him. Could you imagine if you had to pay a debt of over $100,000 right now after you've already paid your taxes? Because that's what it would take to fix the mess that we're in. Wild. Absolutely wild. All right. Also, too, Michael Saylor posted this because Mr. Michael Saylor goes on. But he says he predicts that 280 trillion Bitcoin market cap at Nashville conference. So basically, he is saying that he thinks that Bitcoin will have a $280 trillion market cap. That's what he predicted. I think that that's a little bit wild. He said it's going to happen by 2045. We'll see. At least he's not saying that it's going to happen by the end of the day or by the end of the quarter, by the end of the bull run. So maybe 2045. I don't know. That is a big market cap. It's currently around $1 trillion. 13 million per coin is his base case. $40 million is a bull case. Could you imagine $49 million Bitcoin by 2045 in the next 20 years? A little bit absurd. I think this is a kind of a wild prediction. Even 13 million. I can see $1 million Bitcoin per Bitcoin. That's a little bit wild. He also suggested that Bitcoin held with a custodian could last 1,000 years. Self-custody Bitcoin 10,000 years, and Bitcoin maintained by AI could last 100,000 years. So these are a little bit wild. Little bit wild predictions, but woo. All right. Toyota's love for Ethereum. HK nodes, inverse Bitcoin ETF, stablecoin, Asia Express. So what's going on with this? This basically is a Toyota, big car company. So they're investigating Ethereum's role in its mobility campaign. Basically, they want to focus on connected transportation system with autonomous vehicles. Vehicles are envisioned to communicate with public infrastructure through data exchange. I don't know if I like that. The benefits: automation, smart contracts on Ethereum, automate agreements without intermediaries, and standardized interface. Blockchain could facilitate automated payments, tolls, parking fees directly from the vehicle's wallet. That does make sense. But again, my issue with that is there's lots of mistakes. So if it's on the blockchain, it's not on the blockchain. How do you reverse transaction if there's a mistake? That's all. But otherwise, cool. We'd love to see it. Also too, a little bit about Solana. Solana had some really nice price action, but they achieve a record high. 5.65 billion TVL, 42% DEX volume, and they flip Ethereum in 24-hour fees, which is not really too impressive because they do that all the time. But big shout out to all the Solana holders. And then, of course, you guys over here with Lingo, we are invested in Lingo, but their airdrop is live. So Lingo Airdrop Islands is live, and if you're interested in farming, you can go head over to their official Twitter account, getlingoislands.com. We've got the link down below, and it's basically a gamified airdrop experience. You can hop on the journey through 5 unique islands to earn rewards. 5 islands, 5 ways to win Lingo. And basically in this thread over here, it's going to discuss the different islands. They've got the Ape Rock, Hodl Heaven, Degen Island, Diamond Island, Whale Island, and then it also says over here, most airdrops will be partially vested, quite similar to public pre-sale vestings, ensures fairness and sustainability for a reward ecosystem and community. And if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend you take a look. If not, that's fine too. Anyways, you guys, that was the show for today. I'm going to sign off. I got to go to Costco today. I'm excited about that. I'm not going to be able to eat an entire slice of pizza and a hot dog, but I'm going to do the best I can. Anyways, you guys, sending y'all love and light. Thank you so much for supporting me and the channel. And things will eventually, things are looking up. Things are going to get better day by day. And thank you all so much. I appreciate you more than you ever know. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Ouch. I hit this over here.